today we have a very special guest. His name is Bar, and he's here with us to talk about a very special and difficult topic. He's an expert in this topic, so I will leave him the word, and he's going to introduce the topic and what he thinks about and how this is going to influence our life.
Hello, Federico. Thank you for having me. I'm very
Sure.
excited to be on this show with you.
Sure. Thanks to coming.
Thank you. I have what I think a very interesting topic. How familiar are you with drug cartels and how they ship their drugs?
Well, kind of familiar, but I've never went deep in the argument.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to come here and show you a new technique that they're using, something revolutionary.
Oh my God.
Have you ever been in a submarine or seen a submarine?
I visited a submarine actually.
Okay.
And I visited a submarine used by the special force, but I've never been in a trip with a submarine. So it was not moving.
Very cool. Okay. So imagine this, just so you have a little picture in your head.
Yeah.
Imagine a vessel. It's built in dense, isolated jungles of South America. They're designed not for commerce, but for stealthily transporting tons of cocaine across the vast oceans. This isn't science fiction. This is narco subs.
Impressive.
They are making it in the Amazon jungle by themselves. You know, these guys are in the jungle. They're making these huge subs, and they're just transporting across the ocean, transporting cocaine, tons of it.
How do they do that? How do they go underrated? Like how are they not? Are
detected?
they able? Yeah. Are they not
so
detected?
I'll go more on this a little bit later, but the main thing about the submarines is they're not a submarine like you see in all these Cold War movies. They're not actually going like way under the water.
Oh, it's like
It's just the top foot or something of the
Don't
boat.
be seen by sheeps.
So the radars can't pick them up. And that's the main thing is the radars that the police use and whatever you call border patrol that they use to detect these ships. The actual ship is the same height of the wave or below it. So on the radar, it thinks it's just a wave.
So guys, I wanted to be clear. This is a revolutionary technology, and the cartel is using ships like submarines to basically transport drugs and like some type of cocaine overseas. So it's pretty like a hot topic now. Bar, can you tell us more about what you researched in?
Yes. So very important thing to note is the bad guys are actually ahead in this. The law enforcement has yet to find a solution to catch up to the criminals. These guys are slipping right past us, and there's nothing we can do about it. These vessels have a history of innovation. They started from very simple designs in the jungle and now into bigger and more complex, and they can stay under the water for longer and travel farther, and they're making it all the way to Mexico and all the way even to parts of Europe.
So wait, they are building those like submarines in the jungle or
in the Amazon jungle.
That's incredible.
Now they're building it on the Amazon River, and if you've seen a map, you can see that the Amazon River is more of a delta, and it opens up into the ocean in thousands of different pathways.
Yeah, and I guess it's also difficult to like detect those basically construction of submarines because guys, like the Amazon River is like first of all huge. It's like the first river in the world, like in terms of length. And yeah, how are they planning to basically detect those criminal activities, or what's the plan for the future?
So they have theories and possible solutions, but they don't have anything solid. That's the main concern is we are at a loss. And that's part of the reason why I'm hoping to spread awareness for this, that we can find great minds that can think of innovative solutions to help us catch the bad guys. Because frankly, there is no solution. And there's no way to stop these guys right now.
What do you think is like the main issue for the police to detect those activities? Like, why are they not able? Why the cartel is able to succeed in these missions, in this like drug dealing?
So to give you a metaphor, this is like finding a needle in a haystack. The Amazon River is ginormous, and the jungle even more. And for law enforcement, it's already very expensive for them to do these patrols and to do these drug raids. Extremely expensive for them because they have to do it right, and it takes time. And so for them to go into the jungle, I mean, it's not feasible. It's also in international waters. It makes it like a big game of cat and mouse. There's not much like, things they can do.
Because the legislation can be like tricky, and like you don't know whose property it is, like if the Mexican patrol needs to intervene or European, blah blah blah. So it's very interesting. Like, and you just like spoke about the methods, okay,
Mm-hmm.
that people are coming up with to try to detect, to basically prevent. And what do you think would be a solution for this?
I think what
Yeah,
I
what
would
do
do
you
if I
think?
was
What do
law
you think, or
enforcement.
what like people are coming up? Which are the ideas, the most innovative ideas to solve this problem, which is like a pretty like tough problem to solve, I guess.
So it's definitely easier said than done. I do think we have a lot of useful tools in the world that are coming in that we're not utilizing. AI for one of them. Um, Besides the big tech companies that are making the AI, who's really utilizing it to its full extent?
Yeah,
Um, a possible solution. Now I haven't run the numbers, I haven't seen the feasibility, but I think instead of having these boats patrol everywhere, you
yeah,
could send out drones. Drones are cheap. You
yeah.
can buy one from a Chinese company or
That,
like DJI, and you can get these state-of-the-art drones that can fly out for miles. They have 4K
yeah,
camera. They fly for like an hour or something for under $200. And so the law enforcement, I mean, they have government
yeah,
money. They buy these drones and they have software running on them, and they use AI to help adapt and everything. And these drones will just fly out and conquer the sea like a big grid. And they can use all sorts of sensors to detect. Radar, as we've seen, is a little,
it's a bit like
yeah.
they are able, because the main thing, as you told us,
Mm-hmm.
they are able to not be detected because they basically go underwater, but
Mm-hmm.
just slightly underwater. They are not going very deep, right? Is that
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So the sensors that we can use to detect them would be thermal. It depends on the size of the ship, but these things have engines. They're propelled with motors,
Yeah.
and they're not so far underwater that completely mask it. So it might be faint, and it's definitely thermal is more difficult because you have to be right above it,
Yeah.
but not
Yeah.
too far out. So the satellites have
Mm-hmm.
issues detecting something so small, but drones much closer. You can have them fly as low or as high as you want. So thermal and just the actual aerial, and that's where the AI comes into
Yeah.
place. Is AI and machine learning? They're good at identifying images and to adapting to understanding what an object looks like when they've never seen an image of it before, but they've seen images like it, and they can use that to benefit them in identifying these
Yeah.
critters.
Really interesting. And like, which are methods that can be applied? Like, for example, the drugs arriving where? Like, they are
Mm-hmm.
bringing these submarines where? Like in the forest? Okay, where are they arriving with the submarine?
Mm-hmm.
Which are the spots with the landing spots? Let's call it like that.
So I think if we knew the answer to the full extent for that question, I think we would have a much smaller problem
Yeah.
in what we have today. But a couple of known tech tactics that we've seen is they have these submarines and they don't bring them all the way to shore. It's a little more difficult, right?
Oh,
Say if there's
yeah.
boats coming off the
Yeah, yeah.
docks and they
It's
hit the
also
submarine,
risky, you know?
it's very risky. So they bring the submarines, let's say a mile offshore and somewhere that's just not very
Yeah.
busy, and they take boats, jet skis, um, even there's like swimmers sometimes, and they go to a submarine. They toss a quick duffel bag. They do a little drive by, and they take these to
Yeah.
shore, and they kind of scatter from there. There's like 10 different guys with 10 different boats, and they all take it to 10 different places. And these each guys hand it to their dealers and pimps and you name it. And from there, it just falls down the chain to the consumers who buy and who are fueling the cartel. And yeah, it's very hard to trace after
Is
that.
there a way to detect like the cocaine, that the cocaine is like coming from submarine shippings, or it looks like every other drug on the market? Like, how
Mm-hmm.
do we know that they are shipping a certain amount of cocaine through this method?
So that's back to my point where there's a lot we don't know. In places like Europe, it's obviously not coming by foot, or right,
Yeah,
and it could be coming by plane, it could be coming by drone, it could be coming by you name it. We still don't really know. That's still where we're behind. But they have caught the odd submarine here and there, and from there they slowly catch up and they piece
yeah,
together. And there was a couple examples of submarines they found. Honestly, if you ask me, by pure chance. But these submarines are insanely big. It's the size of the room. They have 3 people in there. There's barely enough space for them, and the rest of the tank is filled with product.
Yeah, guys, to have an idea, this room is like 30 feet long. So those submarines are
Mm.
impressive, like stacked with.
Yes.
Okay, and I guess also the conditions of the workers, like in the jungle, like will
Oh,
be incredible.
the conditions are horrible.
Yeah,
It's
barely paid. I guess like what it can be.
well, I don't know if any of them are paid at all. I mean,
Yeah, it's. I mean, we are talking about guys. We are talking about the cartel. So those are like illegal activities, and we're trying to come up with ideas to prevent those. And coming back at the point, like, uh, what do you think will be like the next step from a police perspective
mm,
to try to like fill the gap between? It looks like a puzzle to me. Like you catch like a submarine here, you have an information there, so you're trying to building like a complete puzzle of what they're doing. It's not
mm,
easy, right?
mm. I would like to give the law enforcement the benefit of the doubt and say they're already working on it, that they have moles or a sting operation or something that's just getting them intel. Because I think the biggest tool that we could use is intel, that we could understand more the process of how they're building these things, where they're putting them in, and just the chain of command as well. We had that arrest a while back for
Oh, really?
who was
Oh,
that guy? One of the cartel heads,
yeah,
um, and who knows what they got of him, right?
yeah,
They probably took him to Guantanamo Bay, and
yeah,
that was about it. But Intel would be a big help. I do think that they need to completely change the way they're playing the game. The game has changed so much from the cartel, trying to sneak stuff in suitcases and
yeah.
airplanes, to a whole new game and a whole new playing field. So there really needs to be innovation in the field, and people outside the box need to go in and think outside the box
Yeah.
strategies.
Well, you gave the example of AI. Like, if we are trying to prevent those methods with AI,
Mm-hmm.
they will come up with other methods as well using AI. For example, drone, who tells us that if we can detect those activities through drones, they cannot do the same. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like developing new methods with AI, but you can like have multiple
Mm-hmm.
choices of how to do what to do. And like remember guys, like drug dealing, there's ever been like a problem, so you will always find new methods
Mm-hmm.
to unfortunately be a criminal. And you were telling me about like before the presentation, before the speech, like what do you think is like where does it come from, the problem? Like
The problem.
yeah, like are we not able to detect the drug dealing through maybe decriminalizing the drug or try to you know cut the tree from the roots without.
I think the reason the cartel exists in the first place is because there's people that
Mm-hmm.
buy these drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Why they buy them, why they feel they need them,
Yeah, that's funny.
we don't know. But I do think that if everyone stopped to buy, I mean, it's basic economics, right?
Mm-hmm.
If there's no demands, there will be
Yeah,
no
simple
business.
request, demand low, guys.
Yes. So the base issue that there is a demand for it, there always has been, and there always will be. There's a generation of people that are hooked on this product, and their kids will grow up with that in the household, and they will be hooked on it too.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to, as a society, understand that these these drugs aren't friends, and they hurt us.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think it's going to be a lot of work with the community.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Between communities, yeah, exactly. Also collaboration between law enforcement and people. Guys, if you see someone like, don't be shy and go to the police, report those facts, because they can help the group, the police enforcement, law enforcement, to detect those criminal activities. Do you want to say something like before we concluded the show, or
Yeah,
would you?
I think there's a lot of brilliant minds in the audience, and we need people like you guys, young, innovative people that are coming up with these new, fantastic ideas. And we need you guys on our side. We need you guys to help and to help us work towards what we want our kids to live in, the world we want them to live in. So if anyone has a great ideas, comment on the blog, comment on this video, and tell us
Yeah.
what your ideas are. And if it's I'm sure they're all brilliant ideas, but if it's the idea that helps ends up helping the world, I think I think that's all we really want.
Mm-hmm. And what's your 1 cent? What will you do?
My 1 cent?
Yeah, exactly.
Stay in school and don't do drugs.
Yeah.
I think
That'll
that'll
become like
fix
that.
the
Yeah,
problem.
yeah. Go to the gym, be healthy, go to a run.
Yes,
Don't do
yes.
drugs,
Invest in
guys.
yourself, not in the
Yeah.
business of selling drugs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Right.
Bar, thank you very much for your
for
time.
having
It was
me.
a pleasure to have you. Guys, we'll see next episode. We're going to have a special guest. Thank you very much for watching.